Good evening. Tonight we're going to show you another stage in making hills. This is the one we did the other day. We've just gunked this. We didn't film all this again, but this was one of our more successful ones because it's really solid. But quickly, what I wanted to show is we just found quite a good way of getting the scatter on this hill. So this is just ballast glue, wood glue mixture again, but we're using a big brush because the little brush is too slow. And we're covering a big area for a reason that you'll see in a minute. Because we've just had a little experiment which was quite successful, and we're hoping that this will be something we can emulate. So this is really the last stage in doing the hill. It's going to be a little bit boring. We had quite a good response. It had some nice feedback, thank you, from people who've enjoyed looking at how to make a hill quickly and cheaply. I'm going to just stop there and see if we can make this work. So what we've got is my wife's best food sieve. Obviously she's not aware that we're using it. Hopefully she won't go on YouTube. And we're putting the scatter in.
Doesn't even know how to count.
And sifting it. And what we've found that does is obviously gives a very even finish. And it's also much quicker. So I'm just going to try now and do this bank, which is going to be a little bit harder because it's on a slope, which I hadn't thought about. So that's not, oh there we go, that's working all right through there. But you can see how we've got a really nice, even, quick finish there.
Only takes 10 seconds.
And we are going to have to, the second part we're going to then experiment with, probably not tonight, is this is a bit vertical, so I don't know what we're going to do here. We'll come back to that. That's going to be a bit of a challenge because that's quite vertical. But you can see how quickly
we've got to cut that out anyway. How
quickly that's gone. So I'm just going to see if we can get this whole hill done while we're filming. And then, as I say, the next stage we're going to experiment is rather than blowing the loose scatter off, is using a mister to spray on a wooden glue mix.
Then let that dry,
and then let that dry. And see if that stops the loose. But I have to say I'm a bit impressed about how quickly this method works. We should be able to do the whole hill in almost no time at all.
And then in our next video, hopefully we'll be adding trees.
So I'm just going to actually...
but the thing is, the trees are, I don't know if you can see it, but they're actually the same colour as the grass bank, which is a bit annoying.
Right, we have to be a bit careful here because we've got some loose scatters, so we're going to have to... we know the...
I thought a windmill was going on there.
It is, but we don't know exactly where.
Fair point.
We know the hut is going in there somewhere, but we don't know exactly where. Obviously what we've just realised is you really need to do the whole hill at once, otherwise you are going to get these edges. But that's what this is all about. It's all about living and learning. So I'm just going to come over here now and do this last bit. The big brush is much better. Works the glue all in. Right, let's see what happens now when we try and do the scatter. Just come out of shot for a minute. Right, here we go. And then also what it shows is why it was a good idea to paint the base colour a green, because the bits that it doesn't go on don't actually look too unrealistic.
It's really getting it done quickly.
It is really getting it done quickly, yeah. Although we'll have to see how effective the spraying the glue on is, because I think we're probably wasting quite a lot here.
Yeah.
That's not going to settle.
Oh well.
Although we've got quite a bit of scatter. Oh, look at that, it did the join alright, so that's okay.
That's just a really grassy hill now. And as you can see, in all these gaps where it hasn't really done it, it just looks like natural chalk.
Yeah, just if anybody, I mean, we live in a chalk hill area, and it does. So do you want to do this bank as well while we're doing this?
Yeah, I
done?
suppose we could try doing this bank in a video. But what I have found is on this tablet, because we don't have 100 subscribers and we can't live stream, it means we can only do 15-minute long videos.
Yeah, well, I don't think this will.
But
Does it tell you how long we've been filming?
5 minutes,
Oh, well, there you
18, 19.
So it goes. We've just effectively scattered that hill in less than 5 minutes. Now I'm sure again you know that you can get these wonderful static machines that do long grass.
And static like Everard Junction.
But that hill has cost us exactly £8 to make, which is the price of the scatter, because everything else has been made from free cardboard and modelling materials and newspapers and plaster that we had lying around. So I still think it's a pretty good. And as we said, I know we keep saying, but as we said, sorry son, you're going to have to move a bit because I'm coming this way. This is our first attempt at a model railway, and I don't think it's looking too bad at the moment, if I'm honest. We've also made, for anybody that's also following their how to do the model railway on the cheap, we've also bought a couple more locos quite cheaply on eBay. One that needs doing up. There we go. And another one which we've bought as part of a job lot, and we're selling off some of the rest of the job lot.
Choose this one here. Sorry, it's got a piece of track on it, but it's this trig.
Right, let's have a go at doing this before we run out of time. It's going to be a little bit more tricky this, because we've got a rather steep hill. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Let's start down here where it's a little bit. There's a bit of a knack in seeing where it's dumped, because I've just dumped a load down there, which I didn't want to.
On the track, but it doesn't matter because the track's taped up.
Yeah, you can see why taping the track up's kind of important through here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring this closer, because it doesn't actually dump it where you think it does when you're shaking it. It does tend to go everywhere. It's cheating a bit, really. There's a clumpy bit there. Right, let's come down here, please, son, so that I can do this bit. I think this bit will go a little bit better. I need to be where you are, I'm afraid. Sorry, the cameraman's in my way.
Not quite happens in Hollywood, does it?
No, it depends.
Hollywood standards.
There's the famous outtakes of Ben-Hur. So we just got to somehow get on that vertical bit there. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. So we'll just use my finger a bit and dab some on. Okay. And we got a little bit through there. I'm not quite sure again how we're going to. Let's see if we can just tap that on. And there is another idea, which I'm just wondering, is what happens if we scatter onto this wet?
Well, I suppose it's worth a try. You might not need glue.
I just wonder what happens if we...
I wouldn't do too much on it though, just in case it
Well, it's wet, it's got to dry.
Actually, I think that's working really well.
We just see this. Anybody's enjoying watching this. This is improvisation as you go along. So if anybody's watching this, wants to see a couple of professionals building a model railway layout, you're out of luck. If anybody wants to see people learning how to do a model railway layout as they go along,
that's us.
That's us. We literally don't know what we're doing. I've literally sat here on camera. I wonder if this will work, and let's find out. We'll soon find out tomorrow if it doesn't stick.
And if it doesn't, I'll do a video and say, we failed.
You can do a video saying, look, Dad's a thicko, it didn't work. But if it does work, then obviously we've just missed cut a whole stage out of doing it.
Before I meet my 15-minute mark of videos, there was something I wanted to show at the end of how we made the grass scatter. So the grass scatter is a Woodlands Scenic blended turf green blend mixed with a Pico bright green grass.
That's to give us two colours. I mean, that's actually happened because we've ended up with two packets. I have to say that's given quite an even finish on there. I'm not too unhappy with any of that. I'm just going to try and cover over a few, and then what we'll have to do is try then the water spray, which we might try in a minute, just to see. But generally speaking, that's not too bad, I don't think. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, it looks brilliant. I think.
That's worked quite well. I'm just going to go over the back there.
If there's any
a little bit.
few people out there that want to ask questions, or if you can correct us on something, if you think
don't tell us it's not how to do it, because we quite enjoy finding it's not the way. Now see, I've just dumped, unfortunately there we'll need to use the hoover because it's all gone on the track, which wasn't taped over.
Can't really see it, but there's a load of untaped track where all the grass has gone over.
So we'll have to do something about that before we do the water
Same
spray.
all down here.
That's it then for the minute, I think. I'm just going to do a little bit more on this edge.
There's 4 minutes left before this video will stop.
And then we might have a quick go with the water spray later. So, hope everybody's enjoyed that. That's a bit of improvisation as we go along. Yeah, don't get that on the BBC.
No.
History in the making.
I'm just going to do an air shot of the layout, air view. As you can see, you've got the main hill, and then the separate hill, and then another separate hill, and then just the raised area with the fiddle yards and things at the back.
Okay,
So,
we're done.
Yep.
That's fine.
Hopefully in our next video we will be adding trees. So that's it for now on part 5, I think.
Lost count.